Hello everyone. The topic of this lecture is Silo-Fast theorem and its proof. In this video, we will concern about finite groups and especially we will prove Silo-Fast theorem here. Before this, we want to discuss here about Lagrange's theorem and Cauchy theorem first. Now we know that if G is a finite group and H be its subgroup, then order of H divides order of G. And the converse of this theorem is if order of G is n and m is any positive integer that divides n, then G has a subgroup of order m. But this situation is not happens for every finite groups. In fact, the converse of Lagrange theorem is false for arbitrary finite groups. So here we wish to find the partial condition where the converse of Lagrange theorem holds. First of all, in Cauchy theorem for finite group, we will see that if P divides order of G, then G has an element, non-identity element of order P. So if we take a subgroup generated by this element, then the order of that subgroup will be P. Therefore we can say that if P divides order of G, then G has a subgroup of order phi. So this is a very particular situation in which we see the converse of Lagrange's theorem holds. Silo introduced the most generalized result than Cauchy by showing that the converse of Lagrange theorem holds partially for all prime powers dividing order of G. I mean to say that for any prime p and integer k greater than equals 0, if pk divides order of G, then G has a subgroup of order pk. So there may be subgroup of order pk and of order pk plus 1, but there will be a subgroup of order p raised to power n dividing order of G, but p raised to power n plus 1 does not divide order of G. Such a subgroup of G will be Silo P subgroup. So in this definition we see that order of G is p raised to power n q and p is a prime, q is any positive integer such that p doesn't divide q. In this situation H, a subgroup of G, is called Silo P subgroup if order of H is p raised to power n. Here we can see that if order of G is 40 and 8 divides 40, it is a prime power of 2. So in this situation G has a Silo 2 subgroup of order 8. The existence of these subgroups appears in the following theorem, which is known as Silo-Fast theorem. If G is a finite group of order p raised to power nq, p is a prime, q is any positive integer such that p does not divide q, then G has a subgroup of order p raised to power n. We will prove this result. So we take order of G is p raised to power nq, p prime, q positive integer such that p doesn't divide q. Okay, we will prove this result by principle of mathematical induction on order of G. Order of G can be taken as 1. In this case, result follows trivially because in this situation p raised to power 0 divides order of G and the identity subgroup will be the required subgroup of order 1. So we assume that order of G is greater than 1, and by induction we can assume that the result follows for all groups whose order less than order of G. Now if P doesn't divide order of G, then E is the required subgroup of G. So the remaining proof we take P divide order of G. So it can be a situation when we may consider a prime P doesn't divide order of G. So this result is more interesting when P doesn't divide order of G. Still there exists a P subgroup, means identity subgroup. Okay, now in rest of part we will consider P divides order of G. Since we are considering arbitrary group, so group may be abelian or non-abelian. So first we will prove this result for abelian groups. So let G be an abelian group and P divides order of G as we have assumed. So we can apply Cauchy theorem for finite abelian groups. So by Cauchy theorem, there exists a subgroup K of order P. So since K is a subgroup of G and G is a abelian group, so K will be a normal subgroup of G. Therefore G mod K is well defined quotient group, and order of this G mod K, this quotient group, is order of G upon order of K. Therefore order will be P raised to power n minus 1 Q, which is less than order of G. So by induction hypothesis, G mod K, this quotient group, has a subgroup of order P raised to power n minus 1, because P raised to power n minus 1 divides order of G mod K, this quotient group. So it has a subgroup of order P raised to power n minus 1. We can say this is A bar. So by the correspondence theorem, there exists a subgroup H of G containing K such that A bar equal HK. As one can see here, G mod K is a quotient group. So its subgroup is also a quotient group with respect to subgroup K. So in this situation, if we call this subgroup by A bar, then A bar is a quotient group with respect to K, and there will be a subgroup H of G, and A bar will be of this type. So this correspondence theorem is giving the existence of a subgroup H such that, so now we will show that H is our required group subgroup. So we compute order of H, then order of H will be order of K into order of A bar. So as we have seen that order of K is P and order of A bar is P raised to power n minus 1. Therefore order of H is P raised to power n. So in this case, when G is abelian, then there exists a subgroup H of G such that order of H is P raised to power n. Now we consider G is non-abelian. In this case, the center of the group will be different from G, and since P divides order of G, so there may be a chance when P may divide order of center and P doesn't divide order of center. If P divides order of center, then we may apply Cauchy theorem on the center ZG. So ZG will have, center will have a subgroup of order P, and the rest of the result will be given as we have discussed earlier. So in this situation, ZG can be replaced by G here, because G is abelian, here ZG is abelian. So if we as we have discussed for abelian group already, so in this part, if we take ZG in place of G, we will get a subgroup H of order P raised to power n easily. So when P divides order of ZG, then ZG is abelian group, and it has a subgroup of order P. We can say T will be normal subgroup because it is a central subgroup. T is a normal subgroup of G. So G mod T is of order P raised to power n minus 1 Q. Following the previous argument, as I have already said, G has a subgroup of order P raised to power n. Now in second case, we take P doesn't divide order of G. So it is very interesting case of this proof. Since G is non-abelian, so it will be different from center. So G has an element which will not in the center. So we can take such element A which is not in the center. So since A is not in the center, so we can have many things here. We will see. First we recall the class equation. Recall the class equation. This is class equation. We know that this is the class equation. Order of G equal order of center of G plus summation varies over the element who doesn't belongs to center and the order of G upon order of Na. This is a class equation. Now this is an interesting part and important part of this proof. Since A doesn't belong to the center, then normalizer of A is a proper subgroup of G, because A doesn't belong to the center. So there exists an element X belongs to G such that XA not equal to XA not equal to AX, and therefore X will not belongs to Na. So Na will be a proper subgroup of G. Na will be a proper subgroup of G such that P doesn't divide order of G upon order of Na. For a moment, if you take P divides order of G upon order of Na for all A doesn't belong to the center of G, then P will divide this sum and P will divide this also. P is dividing order of G also and P will divide this, and therefore P will divide the difference order of ZG, order of center, and it will be the against of our assumption. So Na is a proper subgroup of G such that P doesn't divide order of G upon order of Na, and therefore order of Na will be P raised to power Nt. This should be noted here, because P doesn't divide this and order of G is P raised to power N into Q. So order of Na must contain P raised to power N. If it contains lesser power, then P will divide this number. Therefore P doesn't divide this implies that order of A is P raised to power Nt, but here T Q here. By induction hypothesis, as Na is a subgroup of G and its order is less than order of G, so by induction hypothesis Na has a subgroup of order P raised to power N, and as subgroup of Na is a subgroup of G, so therefore G has a subgroup of order P raised to power N. So finally we observe that from this discussion, if G is a finite group of order P raised to power N, then there exists a subgroup H which is CELO P subgroup of G such that order of H is P raised to power N. This completes the proof. So we have already discussed about the converse of Lagrange theorem, and the converse of Lagrange theorem is false. We means that G is a finite group and M divides order of G. Then it is not necessary to have a subgroup H of G of order M. However, CELO first theorem gives a partial converse to the Lagrange theorem. When M to be a prime power, G has a subgroup of order M. If order of G is 120, then G has CELO subgroup of order 3, 5, 8. Moreover, it has subgroup of order 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Because it has a subgroup of order 8, therefore it has subgroup of order 2 and 4. However, CELO first theorem doesn't give any clue for the existence of subgroup of order 6, 10, 12, 15, 20, etc. So there is some conditions where we need to study more about finite groups due to these shortcomings of CELO theorems. As we see that CELO theorem does not give any clue for the existence of subgroup of order 6, 10, 12, 15, 20. So this is a book, H.E. Ross, A Course of Finite Groups. It is very interesting book and covers most of study of finite groups. Thank you.